press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello students. So today let me start a new chapter. Again another very important branch of mathematics, that is statistics. See, again the area where it is applicable is very vast, because see, daily when you observe the TV, you will find the news reader, they will be giving some information, maybe it is related to rainfall, or during this situation which district has the COVID patients, more positive cases, and run rate of the cricket match, and business, in the field of business statistics you will just hear about it. So there are various things where the information is given there. So all these are called as data. So this is called as data. The information what we collect is data. So again it is a very important branch of mathematics, statistics, and 9th standard you have studied also few terms related to that this chapter. The extension of that is in 10th standard also. So there you have studied ungrouped data and central tendency, measure of central tendencies, central tendency, I hope you can recall it, mean, mode and median, isn't it? Three central tendency, measures of central tendencies. The extension of it you are going to study now. See, since from the lower class also you have been studying this collection of data. Collection of data, let me first explain what is the meaning of data. So collection of data, it can be through various sources, isn't it? So that is called a collection of data, and without grouping in a particular like area or nothing, that is called as raw data. So raw data. So in this chapter you are going to study again that is central tendencies, measures of central tendencies, that is mean, mode and median, and there are various methods which I am going to explain later on. And also you are going to study the cumulative frequency and ogive graph. Okay, these are the things which you are going to study in this, and especially here in this 10th standard you are studying the central tendency of the grouped data. So in 9th standard you had studied the ungrouped data, the measures of all these central tendencies, but now you are going to study the group data. So before going to this deep into this chapter, first let me say this word statistics. The word statistics, actually it is been derived from the Latin word meaning status, okay, status. So status means it is a group of numbers or the number of figures, it in a desired way they have grouped the number, then we call it as status. So it and also you have from the lower classes you have studied the representation of data. See, collection of data is one area, collection of data is one area, collection of data. Next, representation of data, representation of data. Next, interpretation, then analyzing. See, all these are the steps that we are going to follow. in this. See, collection of data, I told you we get from the various source, we are going to collect the data. See, for example, rainfall in a particular district, or rainfall throughout the state, rainfall throughout the Karnataka, we are going to collect the information from various source. Then representation. So again a very important step, representation of data. See, what we have collected the data, it should be represented in a proper way. Then only we can go for this interpretation and analyzing. I hope you understood this. See, when we represent this data, see again representation can be of two forms. See, one is numerical form also you can represent, or graphical method. Graphical way. See, graphical way means again you have studied bar graph. Bar graph you have studied in the lower class. Histogram you have studied. Histogram you have studied. Frequency polygon you have studied. Isn't it? So, and still in a lower class, pictograph. By using the picture we have represented the collection of data. Isn't it? So, these are the methods for representing data. Numerical, just collecting and keeping in a order. Okay, numerical. Graphical means again representing it through a graphs, or by using any type of graphs. Okay, it may be bar graph, histogram, or frequency polygons, and pictograph also you have studied these. Now coming to this interpretation and analyzing. See, when the graph is represented properly, we can interpret the results, or we can analyze. See, the analyze means what is the meaning. See, for example, the graph, see, of rainfall, it has in 2019. See, this is the 2019, so the graph is represented like this. So again in 2020, the graph may vary. See, the rainfall can increase, or it can go decrease also, it can decrease also. So when we interpret it through graphical, then we can easily identify like interpretation means what are the results, whether the rainfall has been decreased in a particular area, or whether it has been decreased throughout the year, or whether it has been increased throughout the year or in a particular area. So like these interpretations and analyzing can be done only when the collection of data is represented in a proper way. So in this chapter you are going to just find out, and all these in the lower class also you have studied this interpretation and also the collection of data, and the various questions will be asked after the graph, bar graph. They will ask, see, suppose the height of the students in a particular class, if it is represented like this. Also you can they can ask you, I mean you can answer various questions related to this graph. Understood? So in a particular class, the favorite what animal or the pet animal they like to just keep it at home. So some of them like to keep cat, some of them like to keep dogs, like this, and we can find out the number of students, how many students or how many are more interested in keeping dogs as a pet animal. So all this interpretation and analyzing can be done only when the collection of data is represented in a proper way. So in a proper way means what? How? So with one example we can do it. Okay, I will show that. A proper way means either it can be arranged in a descending order or ascending order. Then we can properly we can represent the collection of data. So these are the things which you are going to learn in this chapter, and so with one example I am going to start. So, I hope you understood the meaning of data. What is data? Collection of data, and raw data means just with one example I will just show what is raw data, what is grouped data, ungrouped data, and which are the terms we are going to learn in this chapter. All that I am going to explain with one example. So, let me take the number of students in a particular class. Okay. So, to make it easy I am going to take less number, let it be 10. 10 students are there in a particular classroom. So, suddenly the teacher will give you the surprise test and it will be for 25 marks, and the marks scored by the students are like this. So, the number of students how many? I will take 10, only 10, so that for calculations it will be easy then. So, students marks scored 15, 20, I hope 10 marks are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, 10 students they have scored the marks in mathematics like this. Okay. Now, so can we analyze it? My question is, can we analyze? Means, say for example, I want to know, the teacher wants to know that how many have scored 25, how many have scored 10 marks, how many have scored 5 marks. With this data, can the teacher identify? Okay, if it is 10 students, definitely yes, I can count like this. See, 25 marks, 1, 2, 3. 3 members have scored 25 marks. So, 5 minimum, what is the minimum marks scored by the student? So, that is 5 marks, yes, minimum is 5 marks. What is the maximum marks scored by the students? Then it is, I can say easily 25 marks. Suppose if it is for 100 students, is it possible for the teacher to find out easily with this data? Definitely no. Understood? So, this collection of data or this without arranging in any order is called as raw data. Just now I told you about the raw data, isn't it? So, with the example I am showing that raw data means what? Without any organized way I have not done anything. So, just a collection of data is a raw data, or we can also call it as ungrouped data also. Organized, it is not in an organized way. So, raw data, understood? Suppose now I will just make some arrangement. Say for example, like marks scored, I will marks scored, minimum is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, correct? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, okay. Now, so the minimum marks scored is 5 and the maximum is 25. Now, and I am going to check how many are the number of students scored, number of students, okay. How many 5 marks is scored by 1 student, 10 marks is scored by 2 students, then 15 again 2 students, 20 2 students, 25 3 students. See, now I have arranged in a particular order now, correct? So, here see the total the number of students, the total 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. See, the total number of students should be 10, correct? So now we have done all this frequency distribution table studied in 8th standard, frequency distribution table, and we can find out the frequency. So this is called as frequency, means the number of the number of times the observation occurs is called as frequency. Understood? So I am just explaining few terms which we are going to use in this chapter with this example. Okay. Now frequency. I hope you understood the meaning of frequency. So this is called frequency. So what is frequency? Number of times the particular observation occurs. Number of times particular observation occurs. So it is called as frequency. Now just see here, will it be easy to find out? See how many have passed? See, for example, if I keep 15 marks as a passing mark, so 15 marks as a passing marks means this will be included. So these have passed and these 3 students have failed, correct? If I keep 15 marks as a passing mark, then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 students have passed in the particular test and 3 students have failed. So this if I just arrange it in this order, will it be easy for us to interpret or analyze it? Okay. How many students have scored below 10? Below 10 means this cannot be counted, one student. How many have scored 25? 3, like that. Okay. So we have organized or we have just arranged it in a particular order. So what are ungrouped? I hope you understood ungrouped data. Understood? So group data means what? What is? So if the observations are or the data is arranged in a particular group. See, for example, if I do this as 5 to 10 means the marks scored 5 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30. But it is up to 25, but if I write this also. So if I arrange this a collection of data in a particular order, then it is called as group data. I hope you understood the difference between group data. See here individual, here the individual observation, but here in this case I have to collect, this data can be represented in this group data. So this is called in a particular or in a type of group, then if it is organized, the data is organized, then we can call it as group data. Okay, I hope you understood the basic terms related to this. Now again I am going to teach this later on about the group in detail. So now let us see the mean of ungrouped data. How to find out the mean of ungrouped data? So what is the mean then? What is the mean? So I just now told you it's one of the measures of central tendency. Okay. So last year you have learnt the simple word we can use it as average. So how will you find out the average? Usually how will you find out the average? The same thing is nothing but a mean. Say for example, you want to find out the average of your marks. See 6 subjects will be there for you. So you will add all the marks, divide by 6 because number of subjects. If it is 5, you are going to divide it by 5. adding all the marks, the total of all marks divided by number of subjects. So that is the simple meaning of average, isn't it? So the same thing is a mean, it is nothing but average. So let us find out the mean of ungrouped data. So how the formula mean, actually it is represented as x bar is equal to sum of all observations or sum of the values of the sum of all values of the observation divided by total number of observation divided by total number of observation. Mean, it is actually represented as x bar. Total number of observation total number of observations. Understood? So now let us try to find out on the trial basis of this addition. Okay. Now I will take this raw data. See, 15 plus 20 plus 10 plus 25 plus 15 plus 20 plus 25 plus 25 plus 5 plus 10 divided by how many students? 10. So here just see, observe 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 0, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 170 divided by 10. So this will be 17. So the mean what I found out is 17. Okay. Now I just do it of this the represented in a proper order, correct? So I will do this also. I hope you can remember this. 17 is the answer when we do this. Okay. Now see here, how many students have scored? How many students have scored 5? So 5. 5 ones are 5. 10. See, instead of adding 10 2 times, see here, instead of adding 10 2 times, 10 plus 10 I did, correct? Now 10 into 2, 20. So we can multiply it, correct? Then 15 into 2, 30, 20 into 2, 40, 25 into 3, 75. So now you add, see 5, 7, 10, 14, 15, 16, 7, 10, 14, 15, 16 and 17, okay, sorry 10, 170. Now this is the total of all this. So what I did actually, see if this is represented as x, this can be represented as, okay, I will rub this. See here, xi. If I represent the marks code as xi and this as fi and this column, what I did, xi into fi, correct? I have multiplied the marks code into number of students, that is marks code 10 into 2, 20. So this can be written as xi Fi. Okay. So this is nothing but sum of all the values of the observation, sum of all the values. So what are the values here? Here, see here, F1, X1 F1 plus X2 F2 plus X3 F3 like this up to Xn Fn divided by F1 plus F2 plus F3 up to Fn. See here n represents the number of observations there, number of observation here, okay, 10. So like this. Now see, instead of writing this, can I use the symbol sigma? See, you have studied in the 9th standard sigma. Sigma is nothing but it is a summation. The meaning of it is summation, okay, sigma. So now I am going to represent this as, I will write here sigma Fi Xi divided by Fi, okay, sigma Fi Xi divided by Xi. Here what is sigma I? So here I is equal to 1 to n, I is equal to 1 to n. So here I is equal to 1 to n. See, this is summation. What is the meaning of this sigma? It is summation, means sum of all, sum of all. See, the order is changed, that's all. F1 X1, F2 X2, F3 X3 like this, okay. Summation means sum of all, it can be represented as sigma here. So see, this will be easy for us to see. Sigma means this is the total summation. So that is 170 divided by 10. So 17. See, when I did earlier by adding all the raw data, so it takes time, it's tedious, because if it is for 100 students, then definitely it is lengthy procedure. So what we have to do is, you can do in this manner, so just so that we can save time, okay. This is the formula to find out the mean. Once again I am going to write here, where I varies from 1 to n, I am going to write this. So I hope you understood. So I am just giving you the terms which we are using in this chapter with one example, that's all. So finally, mean, this is represented like this, sigma Fi Xi divided by Fi. You can write here, where I is equal to 1 to n, I is equal to 1 to n. Okay, this is the formula. I hope you understood the meaning of this. So this is the summation, sigma, summation of Fi Xi divided by summation of F1, means the sum of all the observations. Okay. So now here how to convert the ungrouped data to the grouped data. So just now I gave an example for you. So the same thing I will just write once again, how to convert the grouped data. See, for that I will take like this, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20, 20 to 25. The same examples we can group like this. So group data. So I was telling you about the ungrouped data and group data. So in 9th standard you have studied about the how to find out the mean, mode and median of ungrouped data. In this year you are going to study the extension of it, you are going to study, that is of group data. So here you will observe this. So according to that we got the collection of data was like this. See, here one thing is very important, one point you have to note. Whenever the, like for example, once again I will write the data which I had taken. See, this is the data 15, 20, 10, 25, 15, 20, 25, 25, 5 and 10. See, when we do the group data, see this is how I have arranged it. Now, from 5 to 10, so 5, how many? 5 to 10 means here 5, but 10, if the student has scored 10, that cannot be grouped here, that cannot be written here for this, understood? That should be taken for the next class, okay. So first let me explain what is this, okay, then okay. Now I have grouped like this 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20, 20 to 25. So this is called as class interval, class interval, class intervals, okay, class intervals. So you have studied in the in 9th standard also of all this terms, class interval. This is called as class interval. Next, here upper limit and lower limit. So here 5 is the lower limit, and 10 is the upper limit, okay. Then, so here the width of the class width, if they ask you what is the class width, so what is the class width here? 10 minus 5, 10 minus 5 is 5, so class width is 5. The size also we can say, size of the class interval or width of the class interval, that is 10 minus 5, that is upper limit minus lower limit will give you the class width, okay, class width, or size of the class interval. How much? 5, okay, in this example. Okay, particular example I am giving the terms there, okay. Next, we can also, the students who are falling in any upper limit would be considered in the next class. Means if suppose I just now told you, see here 5 to 10, so we can write only one student has scored 5 to 10, because the 10, the student who has scored 10 will fall in the next class interval. This you should remember. This is very important. Okay, 10 to 15. Then 10 to 15 means here how many students? 10. Only 2 students. So I can write 2. But 15 should not be 15. The student who has scored 15 should not be included in this class interval. Okay. So how many have scored 15 there? 2 has scored 15. See, 2 has scored 15. So that should be included here. Okay. Next, how many has scored 20 to 25? Means 20 also should be included. How many? 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 students have scored from 20 to 25. Between 20 to 25. 20 also should be, the student who has scored 20 should be included in this class interval, and also 25. 25 also. See, total you can check whether you have written it properly or not by checking the number of students here. See 5, 2, 10, 3. Okay. So total number of students 10. So like this, the ungrouped data can be converted into the grouped data. So this is how we can change the ungrouped data to grouped data. So now finally the last term is class mark. So I hope you understood the class interval. See, this is a class interval, particular class interval. There are 4 class intervals here, and the lower limit and the upper limit, and the class width, that is the size of the class interval, that is 10 minus 5 is 5. Okay. In this particular example, class width is 5. Next, class mark. Again a very important term, class mark. So what is the meaning of class mark here? See, class mark, how you can find out? Upper limit formula, upper limit plus lower limit divided by 2. Upper limit plus lower limit divided by 2. So here upper limit 10 plus 5 divided by 2, that is 15 by 2, 7.5. That is the answer. So I hope you understood the class mark. So class width, class interval, lower limit and upper limit. These are the terms which we are going to use in this chapter. Okay. Fine. Next. Actually, what is this class mark? See, just to represent, we need one midpoint here. So, 5 to 10 in between. So, this will be the midpoint. See, 10 plus 5 divided by 2, 15 plus 10, 25, 25 divided by 2. Okay. So, here the class mark is that lower limit plus upper limit plus lower limit divided by 2. So, this is called the class mark. Midpoint of each class can be chosen to represent the observation falling in the class. So, the midpoint of each class can be chosen to represent the particular observation which will fall in that particular class. Okay, that is called the meaning of the meaning of class mark. Okay, now under mean, okay, I hope you all understood the terms related to this, and mean formula. Under mean there are 3 types, 3 methods to find out the mean. In this chapter we are going to see, this is purely in 10th standard, you are going to learn this, okay, of group data. So, first method is direct method. Direct method assumed mean method, step deviation method. Step deviation method. So, these are the 3 methods which we are going to learn or to find out the mean. These are the 3 methods. Okay. So, next class I am going to start with direct method, next assumed mean method and step deviation method. So, today before winding up the class, let us try to recall what all we studied today. So, you all know it is a very important branch. See, further you will get a field like data science, where the application of this you are going to find out. So, in data science field, engineering field or in any field, you will see this data science, which is very important area. Nowadays the application of it is very vast. Statistics, again a very important branch of mathematics. So when you want to in the higher class, if you are going for this business analyzing all this is very important chapter, and also in PU you will have the continuation of this chapter. So just to recall what all we studied today, the data obtained, the original form is called as raw data, means which is not organized in a proper way, just a collection of data. So in this statistics, what the main thing is collection of data, representation of data, interpretation of data and analyzing it. Interpretation and analyzing it. So these are the areas which we are going to study in this chapter. And raw data, when it is arranged in a proper way, either in a ascending order or descending order, just now I gave you so many examples. One example I took and I have given. So that is called array data, arrayed data, ARRAY, array, arrayed data, okay. And also we studied the group data and also ungrouped data. You saw the difference between the group data and ungrouped data. So all these days you studied only the ungrouped data, how to find out the mean, media and mode of ungrouped data. But this year you are going to study the mean, the central tendency, the measures of the central tendency, that is mean, median and mode of grouped data, okay. And also the group so formed, that is the group so formed is called as class interval. From the ungrouped, when we convert it into grouped, then the group such formed is called as class interval. And the class mark, I wrote the formula here, upper limit plus lower limit divided by 2. And also the class size, how to find out the class size or class width, we can call it as class width or class size. Upper limit minus lower limit is class width, that is like in this example I had taken 5 to 10, so 10 minus 5 like that, or if it is from 10 to 20, 20 minus 10 like this. Then you also studied the meaning of frequency. What is frequency? Frequency is the number of times the particular observation occurs is called as frequency. That is, in this we represent it as F1, F2, F3. That. Then also we got to know about the formula to find out the mean, that is sigma Fi xi divided by Fi, okay, summation. It is this sigma, or we can call it as, that is nothing but summation, means sum of all observation divided by the number of observations. So mean is nothing but, in a simple word we can call it as average. So these are the things which we studied today. So let us wind up and let me start the mean of the first method in the next class. Thank you.